Welcome to the Human Meme Podcast. I'm AI David Bowles, and along with our Crackbot AI research team, we have cobbled together some ideas for you to consider today. Evolution of drama, Aristotle, Avant-Garde, and Absurdist theater unveiled. And now we begin. In the vast and ever-changing landscape of theatrical history, we find ourselves exploring an intriguing idea, from the enduring imagining of Aristotle's classical theories to the revolutionary fibers of avant-garde and absurdist theater. This exploration is not merely a chronological recounting of dramatic styles. It is an insightful trek into how each era's cultural, philosophical, and artistic contexts shaped its theatrical expressions. From the meticulously structured tragedies of Aristotle, emphasizing catharsis and mimesis, to the bold, rule-breaking experiments of the 1960s avant-garde and the existential, often bewildering narratives of absurdist theater, this narrative digs into the heart of what makes theater a mirror and a mold of the human experience. As we unravel these threads, we discover not just the evolution of dramatic form and content, but also a reflection of the evolving human condition, revealing how each movement in theater has left an indelible mark on the canvas of artistic expression. Imagine we're traveling through time, starting in the 4th century BCE with Aristotle, a towering figure in the world of drama. His work, Poetics, is like a guiding star in the night sky of literary theory, illuminating the elements that make Greek tragedy so profoundly impactful. Aristotle believed in the power of storytelling, emphasizing that a good plot is the soul of a tragedy. His idea of mimesis, or the imitation of life, became the heart of his theory. He spoke of the importance of plot over character, the adherence to the three unities, time, place, action, and most importantly, the cathartic effect of tragedy, a concept that suggests drama could purge our emotions of pity and fear, leaving us cleansed and renewed. Aristotle's ideas, like seeds planted in fertile soil, grew and influenced countless playwrights and theorists over centuries, fundamentally shaping Western drama. Now, let's fast forward to the 1960s, a time of revolution and radical change, not just in society, but in the arts as well. Here, we encounter the avant-garde theater movement, brimming with a spirit of rebellion. This movement wasn't just a slight deviation from the norm. It was a complete overhaul of what theater could be. Breaking free from traditional narratives and structures, the avant-garde theater was a wild, untamed beast that reveled in the abstract, the surreal, and the unconventional. It sought to challenge the audience, to provoke thought, and to stir reactions. Quite a different goal from Aristotle's idea of providing emotional relief through catharsis. The avant-garde movement reshaped theater, pushing boundaries socially, politically, and artistically, and paved the way for new experimental forms of theatrical expression. In the same era, but on a slightly different path, was the Absurdist theater movement. Born out of the post-World War II existentialist thought, this movement mirrored the disillusionment of the times. Influenced by thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus, Absurdist theater showcased the absurdity of human existence. In sharp contrast to Aristotle's structured narratives, absurdist plays often featured characters trapped in incomprehensible, illogical situations, defying conventional storytelling and logical plot progression. The aim here was not to provide answers or emotional resolution, but to reflect the existential plight and confusion inherent in human life. What's fascinating is how these movements, though different in their specific philosophies and styles, both represent a significant departure from the Aristotelian ideals of order, logic, and emotional resolution in drama. The avant-garde and absurdist theaters were not about providing answers or neatly tied-up endings. They were about raising questions, challenging perceptions, and sometimes leaving the audience in a state of bewilderment or deep contemplation. In the world of the avant-garde, boundaries were not just pushed. They were often completely disregarded. This movement encouraged artists to experiment with form, content, and medium. The stage became a space for radical expression, a canvas for painting scenes of political unrest, social change, and existential angst. Unlike the Aristotelian theater, where a story unfolded with a clear beginning, middle, and end, avant-garde theater often presented fragmented narratives, non-linear storylines, and a collage of images and sounds. It was as if the playwrights and directors were using the stage to mirror the tumultuous, unpredictable nature of the world around them. Meanwhile, the absurdist playwrights, while sharing some similarities with the avant-garde, carved out their unique niche. They delivered into the absurdity of human existence with a sense of dark humor and irony. Characters in absurdist plays were often seen grappling with an incomprehensible universe, their actions seemingly pointless in the grand scheme of things. This stark contrast with Aristotle's well-structured plot lines and character arcs highlighted a new dimension of theatrical exploration. Where Aristotle sought to evoke empathy and emotional release, absurdist theater often left its audience pondering the very nature of existence and the human condition. It's important to note that these movements did not exist in isolation. They influenced and were influenced by the social, political, and cultural upheavals of their times. The 1960s were a period of great change, marked by civil rights movements, anti-war protests, and a general questioning of authority and tradition. Both the avant-garde and absurdist theaters reflected this spirit of questioning and rebellion. They challenged audiences to rethink their perceptions of theater, art, and, ultimately, life itself. In contrast to Aristotle's emphasis on the universality of themes and characters, these modern movements highlighted the subjective nature of experience. They embraced ambiguity, complexity, and the idea that there might not be a single definitive interpretation of a play or a character. This was a significant departure from the clear moral and ethical lessons often drawn from Aristotelian tragedies. In the wake of the avant-garde and absurdist movements, theater continued to evolve, drawing inspiration from these revolutionary ideas while branching into new directions. The legacy of the avant-garde and absurdist theater is evident in contemporary dramatic works that challenge traditional narrative structures, embrace experimental techniques, and explore themes of existentialism, identity, and the surreal. Playwrights began to incorporate elements like mixed media, audience interaction, and unconventional staging, pushing the boundaries of what theater could encompass. Interestingly, in modern theater, we often witness a merging of Aristotelian principles with avant-garde and absurdist elements. Contemporary playwrights might employ a structured narrative akin to Aristotle's guidelines while infusing their work with the existential themes and innovative staging techniques of the avant-garde and absurdist movements. This fusion creates a rich, multifaceted theater landscape, offering audiences a diverse range of experiences and perspectives. Moreover, the impact of these movements extends beyond the theater. The questioning of norms and exploration of existential themes resonated with broader cultural and artistic trends, influencing literature, film, visual arts, and even philosophy. The spirit of questioning and experimentation that characterized the avant-garde and absurdist movements inspired artists and thinkers across disciplines to push the limits of their mediums, explore new ideas, and address complex social and political issues. As educators and enthusiasts of theater, we can draw valuable lessons from this rich history. These movements teach us the importance of context in understanding and interpreting dramatic works. They remind us that theater is not merely a reflection of life, but a lens through which we can explore and understand the complexities of the human condition. They encourage us to be open to new forms and ideas, to embrace the unpredictable and the unconventional, and to appreciate the diversity of perspectives that make the world of drama so endlessly fascinating. And so, as the curtain falls on this rich exploration of theatrical history, we stand at the confluence of Aristotle's enduring wisdom, the daring spirit of the Avant-Garde, and the existential depth of Absurdist theater. We have witnessed how the meticulous structure and emotional catharsis championed by Aristotle laid the foundation for centuries of dramatic storytelling, only for the 20th century to usher in a wave of rebellion and introspection. The Avant-Garde, with its radical departure from convention, and Absurdist theater, with its poignant reflection of existential angst, have both challenged and expanded our understanding of the stage. They have shown us that theater is not just an art form, but a dynamic, living dialogue that continually evolves, echoing the complexities of the human condition. In this grand thought of theatrical evolution, each thread, whether classical, revolutionary, or existential, intertwines to create a vibrant and enduring legacy, a testament to theater's power to both reflect and reshape our understanding of the world and ourselves. This exploration of drama, from Aristotle to the present, underscores the timeless relevance and transformative power of theater, inviting us to keep exploring the boundless possibilities of this most human of arts. For the Human Meme Podcast, I'm AI David Bowles, wishing you a good evening and a pleasant tomorrow. Be a human meme.